The crumbling ruins of Arashiro Temple began to tremble violently under the surge of a strange, unknown energy. Violet moonlight bathed the scene, making every deep shadow appear to move and stretch as if it possessed a life of its own. Kaito Ren, the very last shadow samurai left standing, braced himself by tightly gripping the hilt of his ancestral katana. Across from him, the deadly crimson assassin, Lady Vex, wore a knowing smile, but her eyes were glowing with an unnatural, unsettling power. Vex began to whisper an ancient and forbidden chant, signaling the start of a terrifying ritual. Brilliant crimson glyphs suddenly illuminated beneath her feet as the ground cracked, releasing screaming, tormented red spirits into the night. Kaito's pounding heart confirmed his worst fear. You actually made a devastating pact with something ancient and dark. Vex's voice instantly changed, now layered with the booming, demonic echo of the entity she had called upon for strength. She chillingly confessed that the spirits of his own fallen clan had willingly aided her in their destruction. In a gruesome vortex of red energy, those screaming warriors violently merged and were absorbed directly into Lady Vex's own body. Her refined katana then twisted into a jagged bone-like weapon that dripped menacingly with spectral, hungry fire. Vex launched herself forward with a speed that defied human perception, moving faster than the eye could possibly follow. Kaito desperately swung his blade, but his strike connected with absolutely nothing but the empty, charged air where she had just been. She reappeared instantly behind him, and a ghostly claw raked across his shoulder, leaving a burning, agonizing mark. Vex's voice echoed all around him as she taunted that his cherished shadow arts would offer no salvation this night. Wincing in pain, Kaito pressed his bleeding hand to the cold temple floor, initiating his final, desperate defense. Dark blue, ancient glyphs that he swore never to use began to spread rapidly outward from his touch across the stone. The surrounding shadows condensed under his command, twisting together to form a massive spectral wolf made of moonlight and pure darkness. Kaito whispered the activation command for his ultimate, terrifying guardian spirit with grim resolve. The lunar shade let out a deafening roar that sent visible, tangible shockwaves, tearing through the silent ruins. In response, Vex unleashed a horrifying swarm of her own crimson specters, charging them directly at the massive wolf. The lunar shade immediately leapt into the fray, tearing the oncoming crimson entities apart with its massive, glowing light claws. Finally, Kaito and Vex clashed in the very center of the spiritual battle, their weapons meeting in a blinding, catastrophic impact. Her demonic blade screamed with dark energy, while his katana burned with brilliant lunar fire with every violent impact. Each perfectly placed strike from their supernatural weapons caused the surrounding stone foundations to audibly shatter and the very air to split. Seeing an opening, Vex tried to use her momentum to finally impale the determined shadow samurai clean through the heart. However, Kaito masterfully stepped Step 9D, her own shadow, vanishing from her attack vector only to reappear above her. With a single, perfect, decisive arc, he sliced cleanly through the powerful demonic aura that had been protecting her. The bone blade instantly cracked under the purity of the blow, and the enslaved spirits inside her let out a final, collective shriek. Kaito performed the perfect closing motion, smoothly sliding his blade back into its sheath with a simple, soft, concluding click. A bright circle of pure moonlight formed beneath Vex, causing all the malevolent spirits within her to violently burst out and dissolve into sparkling silver dust. She immediately fell to her knees, finally free from the dark possession, her voice weak but undeniably human once more. He rushed forward to catch her exhausted body before she could completely collapse onto the cold, broken ground. As she was held, the moon above returned to its gentle, natural glow, and the manic shadows throughout the ruins finally calmed down completely. The mighty lunar shade gave Kaito one last respectful, silent bow before peacefully fading away back into the ambient night. Kaito whispered a quiet prayer for Vex's soul, and then walked away from the temple, letting the moonlight guide his solitary path forward. But far behind him in the returning darkness, a pair of ancient, powerful eyes slowly blinked open with terrible awareness. The true demon that had lent Vex its immense power was clearly not destroyed by that final, exorcising cut. It had simply retreated, and now, finally roused from its forced slumber, the darkness had truly awakened to the world.